Hey you guys, it's Destiny back with another video, and you're watching the wrestlemania channel here on YouTube. Got one more classic WrestleMania pay-per-view review for you. This one's a little more recent. This was 10 years ago, WrestleMania 31. We're going to be reviewing today. 7 matches, but there was a lot of just filler segments that kind of just, I felt like dragging out too long. Let's get into this. This is a little better than WrestleMania 13's card. I kind of remember the build to this a little bit. I started kind of remembering more of it as I was watching it. Not the greatest WrestleMania either. Crap, now I feel bad. I kind of gave you guys a couple of bad WrestleMania reviews. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not as great either. I don't know. Maybe I'll give you a bonus one or something. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you won't miss any new content. Like the video, share, comment, all that stuff. And this is your WrestleMania 31 pay-per-view review. Okay. This first match was pretty good. It was a 7-man ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. So this was the defending champion Wade Barrett against Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, R-Truth, Luke Harper, Dean Ambrose, and who else is in this? Hold on. It was Barrett, but then there was also R-Truth, Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, Luke Harper. I could have swore there was somebody else in this match. Hold on. Maybe it was just 6. I don't freaking remember. There's 2. This is why I do not like multi-man matches like this, because one, it's just, I don't know, I don't like it. It's just bad. I'll think of this other person later. Probably. Frick. I could have swore there was somebody else in this match. Watch, I'll think of it later when I get off the video. That's always what happens. Anyway, Daniel Bryan won. Pretty fun match. And then we had Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. Another pretty good match. I actually kind of remember the build to this now that I think about it. That's where Randy Orton just beat the crap out of Seth that one night. I think it was some kind of stipulation where Kane and Big Show couldn't be in the building. No Jamie Noble or Joey Mercury or anything like that. So Randy just beat the crap out of Seth to the build to this. I remember it a little bit. Randy Orton won this match. And this is the match where he hit that really good RKO out of nowhere or something. It was like one of the greatest of all time or something. I don't know, but Sting versus Triple H was the next match. Oh wow. Oh, let's say about this match. So I think Triple H is doing a very good job right now in creative. But this match right here, this was when Vince was in charge still. This is when, Triple H was kind of, I don't know, I guess, was he taking over NXT at that point? I don't remember. But they were playing it up on commentary like this was the match that nobody ever thought would happen. Surely it might have been a match that no one thought would happen. The real dream match And the one that they should have done at this WrestleMania was Sting versus Undertaker, not Sting versus Triple H. It was an okay match for the most part. I liked it. It just kind of felt like they were burying Sting on commentary. Like, Sting put the company out of business. And Jerry Lawler even pointed out on commentary, because Michael Cole and JBL were kind of being like, Sting was one of the ones that tried to put us out of business. And King was like, look, he was just doing what he was told by the people in charge. And then he left. And Michael Cole was like, well, why did he not come to WWE afterwards? Well, I don't know, probably because in real life, he probably saw that Vince was not going to use him very well. We saw how Booker T got treated at WrestleMania 19. Okay, I didn't actually see it, but, I've watched the match back. But you get my point. I tried to bury WCW in this match. And Sting, specifically. Then they had the NWO come out, and DX, they came out too. So we had the Monday Night Wars all over again, and it's like, okay, nobody wants. Why logically, storyline sense, why would the NWO be helping Sting when it was Sting who, took them out week after week, coming down from the rafters and all that stuff. Realistically, in storyline, if you were to put this storyline in a 1997, 1996 situation, the NWO would not be helping Sting. The only thing I could think is maybe they were all WCW guys and they wanted to help Sting. I don't really know. I don't know what the heck that was about, but Triple H ended up winning this match, which he shouldn't have. I've always maintained, even when I was 15 or 14, going on 15, watching this, and I still didn't really know that much about the inside workings of the business that much. I was like, okay, why is Sting losing this match to Triple H? I guess I just assumed, they're going to be doing the heel thing, and Triple H is going to beat the conquering babyface from WCW. This is our company. We're better than everyone out there. That type of situation. I was kind of initially excited to see this match, but looking back, I was kind of like, what is this? But yeah, Sting ended up winning it. Triple H would be back out later. So would Seth Rollins. So they took a break and they had performances from this, I believe it was Skylar Grey, Travis Barker from Blink-182, and I can't remember the rapper's name, but they did a performance. And then this might have well been another filler thing on the card. There's quite a bit of that on this, I feel like. But they had AJ Lee and Paige versus the Bella Twins. Is an okay match. AJ Lee, this will be her last match, I believe, in WWE, I think. And then, or close to her last match. And then Paige, she would have to retire soon after, I believe. And then, Bella Twins, they would be involved in that Women's Revolution storyline, which was very interesting. I remember that night watching when Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch debuted in WWE. And they fought off the Bella Twins. But AJ and Paige won this. This is an okay match. I'm glad AJ Lee's last match was at WrestleMania. It was pretty cool. Now she can watch her husband main event night 1 of WrestleMania this weekend. I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if she's maybe there. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see. John Cena took on Rusev for the United States Championship. John Cena ended up winning it. And then I remember afterwards, I remember a lot of the aftermath stuff to this pay-per-view, but I don't remember a lot of the build to some of these matches. I remember he won it, and then he would go on to do these open challenge thingies with the US title. They were pretty fun. Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker. Now, this one, you could argue, people actually did want to see. Pretty cool match. And Bray Wyatt, no offense, but Bray Wyatt should have won that Undertaker. I'm sorry, but he should have. I don't know, it just makes me sad that he never got a WrestleMania win in front of fans, because he lost to John Cena at WrestleMania 30, lost to The Undertaker here, was injured, I believe, at 32, lost the WWE Championship to Randy Orton at 33 in 2017. I don't remember what he did. I think he was in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and I think Matt Hardy ended up winning that. Did Matt win that one? If I'm remembering correctly, he did, I think. And then they would go on to form a team or something like that. And then 19, I don't remember if he was even on that show or not. 20, he faced... Or 2019, he wasn't on the show at 35, I don't think. 36 was in front of no fans, and he beat John Cena in a Firefly Funhouse match. And then, we all know what happened at 37. He lost to Randy Orton in disgusting fashion. Not, blaming Randy or Bray for that, either one, but that was just weak. Then he got released. And he was going to face somebody, probably Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania 39, and it never happened because Bray got sick, and then we all know what happened after that. So that actually kind of makes me freaking cry, honestly. That sucks. At least, Luke Harper got sort of a WrestleMania main event. I never did think of who else was in that. Hold on, it was Daniel Bryan. Wade Barrett, Dean Ambrose, R-Truth, Dolph Ziggler, Luke Harper, and I could have swore there was somebody else in this. Maybe it was just 6. I don't know. But, Cody Rhodes. Cody freaking Rhodes is in it. That's right. Stardust. When you were doing the Stardust gimmick. Yeah, Cody Rhodes is in it. That's right. I knew I'd think of it. At least it wasn't until after I recorded it. Okay. Bray Wyatt and Undertaker. That was a pretty good match, I guess. I honestly would have... I was doing a little fantasy booking here, and then we'll get to this last match. Oh, there was a segment earlier. That was a really cool segment earlier on in the night. I forgot this. So, we'll get to this segment in a little bit with Triple H and The Rock in them, but there was one earlier where Daniel Bryan's just sitting backstage, and he gets endorsed and congratulated by these former Intercontinental Champions. It's Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, Bret Hart, and Roddy Piper. So that was really cool. And then Ron Simmons was in the background of all these, as he is for a lot of this stuff. And, we all know, I love Ron Simmons. I don't know. He's a good wrestler. I saw him on an ECW DVD that I have for the first time, so that was cool. Okay, so this segment here with The Rock and Triple H. Triple H comes out after beating Sting, and he kind of runs down the audience a little bit, and then Rock comes out, makes a very long entrance. This was longer than it needed to be. I don't really like these on these shows, like especially on pay-per-views. I don't really like these. It's fine, I guess, if you're setting up an angle, which I thought that's what. Well, I didn't think this, but a lot of people actually were thinking this, I guess. And I don't remember this at all. I don't remember this even being brought up on TV. I don't really know why. But Triple H comes out, Rock comes out, they do their thing, and then Stephanie gets in his face, and she slaps him and all this stuff and runs her mouth to him. And she's like, oh, well, you ain't gonna hit a woman, are you? And Rock says, I wouldn't hit a woman, but I know someone that will. And Ronda Rousey's sitting in the crowd. She finally gets in the ring, and she tells Stephanie, you better leave. Stephanie's like, no, I'm not leaving. And then freaking she gets in Stephanie's face, and they all start brawling. Ronda knocks out Triple H, and they would face each other in tag team action, just not with The Rock teaming with Ronda Rousey. It was actually Kurt Angle, which actually made a little bit more sense, because Kurt's actually a legitimate shoot-style wrestler. Amateur wrestling. He won an Olympic gold medal. Another funny thing about this segment, though, is Stephanie was telling The Rock, if it hasn't been for the McMahons, he wouldn't be here. If it hadn't been for Vince McMahon, Senior, Vince McMahon Jr., and Stephanie McMahon, without even acknowledging Shane McMahon. And the crowd's just chanting Shane O'Mac, which he would be at next year's WrestleMania, which was a complete surprise. I thought about doing that one just because, I'm not gonna lie, I was excited to see Shane come back and wrestle. I'd never seen him. That was the first time I'd seen him when I'd watch this. And now looking at it through 2025 eyes, it's just like, there's a built-in story right there with Triple H, but they didn't do it. And Triple H was wrestling Roman Reigns on that show too, but we'll get to him in a second. But yeah, that's how that segment ended, because I guess they were teasing a segment with The Rock and Triple H. So, yeah, that happened. If I'm missing anything on this card, I apologize. The show really wasn't all that great. I don't know, I feel bad. I might review WrestleMania 24 just to give you guys a good WrestleMania show that actually was good. Because I haven't done that one yet. I don't know. Y'all want one more? I could probably squeeze one more in. I always try to do 4 each from each decade. Or I'm going to try to at least now. So, although by a couple years there won't be any from the 80s left. I still gotta do 2, 3, 4, and 5. But Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. It's a pretty good match, actually. I actually like this match. Despite what people thought of Roman Reigns back then, and I know a lot of people did not like him because he was kind of like that John Cena situation with John Cena where he'd been shoved down our throats. I think I was rooting for Brock. Maybe. I don't remember. Brock kind of essentially turned babyface, I guess. I don't know exactly, but I remember the build, or the aftermath of that, when he took out a bunch of announcers and stuff like that. But Brock and Roman had a pretty good match on the show. And then Seth Rollins came out and cashed in his Money in the Bank contract and left with the title. So that was pretty freaking crazy. No one had ever done that to that point, up to that point, and only one person, Damian Priest, has ever done it since, and that was last year. In a match involving Seth Rollins, believe it or not. So it was Seth and McIntyre, I believe, last year. And, that happened. So, all in all, this WrestleMania had some okay spots on it. Some of the matches themselves weren't, I'd say, but the weakest match on this card was AJ Lee and Paige against the Bellas. The rest of the show was okay. It wasn't bad. But it just felt kind of lackluster for a 4-hour show, because you only had, 7 matches, I think, and it just didn't feel like 7. Like, nowadays you can do a 7-match card in 2 hours. This did not feel like that. You could have even put the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal or whatever on the card, which is what they should. Okay, if they're having 2 nights of this freaking pre-show or whatever, a 3-hour pre-show, you need to put some pre-show matches on these cards, and then I might actually watch them. Instead of doing a whole recap thing of WrestleMania, I'd rather you just do some, I guess do some predictions and stuff, but have some matches to kind of fill out the card a little bit, instead of you doing 3 hours of you just talking each night. I don't know. I just wish these pre-shows were a little more structured, I guess. Or not a little structured, but a little more structured better, I guess. But WrestleMania 31 on the whole wasn't bad. It wasn't the greatest either. I don't know. I'll think about it. Tell you what, y'all, get this video to 15 views by get this video to 20 views by Wednesday, and then when I come home on Wednesday, I will watch WrestleMania 24 and review it. How about that? But only if you guys get this video to 20. Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait till next year till I do these. So, I'll see you guys. Maybe tomorrow we'll do something, but yeah, I can have, if it gets to it, I can have WrestleMania 24, that one go up Thursday morning or something, because I'm doing predictions on Friday for WrestleMania, so stay tuned for that. I will not be reviewing the Hall of Fame, but probably gonna wait till Monday or Sunday night to review both nights of WrestleMania. So I'm not gonna do a review for each night. I'm just gonna do it all together. Probably. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but there's your WrestleMania 31 pay-per-view review. This build hasn't been that exciting, but I'm looking forward to the card nonetheless. The card looks awesome, but I'll see you guys. Let me know what you guys thought of this WrestleMania, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know, we'll do something. Peace, and God bless.